If you've been sitting on the idea of starting a podcast for months, but every time you think about it, you feel overwhelmed by the tech, the time, or the fear it'll flop, you're not alone. In fact, I was you, blinds closed, burnt out, doing all the content things and still not getting clients. You've got a proven offer. You've got real results, but somehow visibility still feels like a full time job. You're showing up on Instagram, going live, trying reels, batching content with your VA, but none of it feels sustainable. Some days you wake up to inquiries, other days, crickets. And every time you think about launching a podcast, your heart says yes, but your brain says, I don't have time. I don't know where to start. What if no one listens? You want something more stable, something that works even when you don't. Let's be real. The hustle on social media is not only draining you, it's delaying your growth. You're exhausted from chasing leads instead of attracting them. You're drowning in content creation with nothing that compounds. And worst of all, you know you're better than your visibility right now. Because if people could just hear you, just spend 15 minutes listening to your story, your method, they'd know you're the real deal. Now, that was me. I had a validated offer, a good client, but my leads were inconsistent and my energy was stretched thin. I tried everything: reels, templates, VA content batching, even a podcast course I never quite finished until one day I asked, what if speaking could be my content? What if I just showed up and someone else handled the rest? That's when I created the reverse podcasting framework and everything changed. No more daily content treadmill, no more guessing what to post, just one podcast, strategically mapped. And suddenly I had leads DMing me saying, I binged your show and I'm ready to work with you. That's what we do at Podcast Profits Unleashed. We help six-figure coaches like you turn your voice into a lead generation engine without the content grind or tech stress. Here's how it works. You hop on a strategy call with us. We build a 12-episode podcast plan tailored to your offer. We design your brand, coach your voice, and launch your show for you. Then we show you how to repurpose each episode, or we do it for you so we can turn it into high converting content. Want to guest on other shows first? No problem. Our Power Hour session helps you get visibility before you even launch. We've helped coaches go from zero to fully booked calendars, repurpose episodes into blogs, reels, and newsletters, get inbound leads from people who say, I feel like I already know you. These are women just like you, smart, successful, overwhelmed, and now finally visible. If you're saying, I don't have time, what if your content bought back your time? One podcast equals 10 plus pieces of content. That equals less social media stress. I'm not tech savvy. You don't need to be. We handle everything: setup, editing, publishing, even show notes. What if it doesn't work? One client pays for the whole thing. But more importantly, you own this asset forever. I've already tried content. This isn't just content. This is connection. A podcast is a sales tool disguised as a conversation. So let me ask you, if your ideal client heard your voice, would they want to work with you? Then let's make sure they do. Click the button below and book your free podcast strategy call. We'll map out how to make your podcast your number one sales asset, even if you don't have time, tech skills, or a huge audience. No pressure, no pitch, just a genuine conversation to see if podcasting is the right move for you and how we can help you do it right. Because if you're going to do this, let's make sure it works. We only take 3 new clients each month to give them full support. Book your podcast strategy call before Friday and you'll get our 6-figure podcast blueprint session for free. So book your free podcast strategy call now. Let your voice do the selling so you can finally stop doing everything else.